But wasn't Michael Atkinson doing the job of the Inspector General of the intelligence community, the job he was supposed to do, when he simply took the whistleblower complaint to Congress and what hadn't been taken previously? Wasn't he doing the job that he was supposed to do, that American taxpayers were paying him to do? And why did you decide to terminate?
I thought he did a terrible job. Absolutely terrible. He took a whistleblower report, which turned out to be a fake report. It was fake. It was totally wrong. It was about my conversation with the president of Ukraine. He took a fake report and he brought it to Congress with an emergency, okay? Not a big Trump fan, that I can tell you. Instead of saying, and we offered this to him, no, we will take the conversation, where fortunately we had a transcript. If we didn't have a transcript with the kind of deception and dishonesty that were practiced by the Democrats, I might not be standing here right now, okay? Fortunately, we had a transcript, and it was a perfect transcript because even the lieutenant colonel admitted it was correct. Okay, wait a minute. You asked a question. So he took this whistleblower, and I keep saying, where's the whistleblower, right? And why was the whistleblower allowed to do this? Why was he allowed to be, you call it fraudulent or incorrect transcript? So we offered this IG, I don't know him, I don't think I ever met him. He never even came in to see me. How can you do that without seeing the person? He never came in to see me, never requested to see me. He took this terrible, inaccurate whistleblower report, right? And he brought it to Congress. We offered to have him see my exact conversation. It was all about the conversation, by the way. That was the whole thing. It was about the conversation, right? And then after he saw it, he must have said, wow, because as I've said it many times, and it drives you people crazy, it was a perfect conversation.
Because apparently even a global pandemic that's resulting in thousands of lost American lives every single day is still a fine time for Trump to exact revenge on those who don't exhibit total loyalty, regardless of how many bodies are piling up right under his nose. This question came in response to Trump's bombshell firing of the intelligence community's chief watchdog, Michael Atkinson, who first sounded the alarm to Congress about an urgent complaint he'd received from an intelligence official involving Trump's communications with Ukraine. And let's just cut the BS right from the start. The reason he did this is to retaliate against someone whom he felt wasn't sufficiently loyal. It doesn't matter that Atkinson was simply doing his job, and had he failed to deliver this complaint, a complaint that was proven legitimate, by the way, it would have been him who would have suffered the consequences. But none of that matters to Trump, because all he cares about is loyalty not to the Constitution, not to the rule of law, but to himself. Now, Trump claims that the whistleblower report was fake, which is not even remotely based in reality. And I know it's been a while and Trump has gotten himself mired in what seems like a lifetime of new scandals since then, but the facts surrounding this case are beyond simple. And that is that every point laid out in the whistleblower complaint was corroborated. It said that Trump asked for the favor of an investigation into the Bidens from Ukrainian President Zelensky. That turned out to be true. It said that the administration withheld millions in military assistance from Ukraine. That turned out to be true. It said that Giuliani had been circumventing national security protocols by acting as his own State Department to facilitate the investigation into Biden. That turned out to be true. It said that the White House intervened to lock down all records of the call by placing them in a secure server that's reserved for classified information. That turned out to be true. Even Trump himself admitted that the purpose of the call was to get the Ukrainians to open a probe into Biden. So Trump can claim the whistleblower is some illegitimate source until he's blue in the face, but the fact is that the whistleblower could be Hillary Clinton sitting on Barack Obama's shoulders in a trench coat. It would not matter because the complaint has already been proven true. I should note too that Trump claims Michael Atkinson did this because he was, quote, not a Trump fan. But Michael Atkinson was literally appointed by Donald Trump. So it's not that he wasn't a Trump fan, he just wasn't a Trump loyalist. He wasn't willing to tear the Constitution to shreds in blind deference to a guy who just orchestrated an international extortion scheme for dirt on his political opponent. I'm not sure any inspector general would consider him or herself a, quote, fan of that either. But the best part is Trump claiming that luckily he had the transcript of the call to vindicate himself. But the transcript is why he was impeached. The transcript says in black and white that he wanted Ukrainian President Zelensky to do him a favor, though, before asking for an investigation into Joe and Hunter Biden, all while nearly $400 million in military assistance was in flux. and with Ukrainian officials having admitted that they knew Zelensky's cooperation was a condition for receiving the aid. So no, the transcript didn't exonerate Trump, it implicated him. And I get that Trump's whole strategy is just to repeat something regardless of merit in a desperate attempt to will it into existence, but saying the call was perfect or saying the transcript was perfect doesn't just make it perfect. But the ultimate irony here is that we're seeing Trump's strategy to get off the hook from one crisis during another crisis. It's not that Trump is ever taking steps to do the right thing, it's that his sole priority is just making sure there's no oversight when he inevitably screws up. And so here we are in the middle of a pandemic that Trump has failed in responding to so catastrophically, and his only strategy is to make sure that he's got a PR operation that'll gaslight the American people into thinking that he's doing a good job. All that he cares about is wrapping this turd in tinfoil and then telling you it's pure gold. The fact is that Trump won't learn how to be accountable. He won't learn how to follow the law. He won't learn how to govern effectively. He only knows how to try and spin one disaster after the next into a win at all costs.